There's Sages. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a great week. Happy Friday. It's a little bit rainy here in Wilmington, so no walk for me this afternoon, but lots to do for sure. So I'm going to dive right in and jump in on our theme that we've been talking about for the month of June, which is Big Vision, Small List. So you've heard over the past couple of months, we're looking at this whole concept of a big vision, but keeping your business intentionally small. So because your business is small, in no way does that mean a small vision. In no way does that mean small impact. It doesn't even mean small money, but it does certainly mean that you can keep your business intentionally small and boutique your business, and then looking at how are you going to do that if you don't have a big team, so you only have a small team. If you don't have a big list, you don't have a ton of people on your list. And next month, we'll be talking about how to do it on a shoestring if you don't have a big budget. But your vision can be amazing and vast. So I don't want you to think that because some of these things are smaller, it is disqualifying you in any way, because it certainly is not. So today's topic is don't let the numbers fool you and the power of a small list. So here's where I'm going with this. A lot of times we look at our list and there's a lot of FOMO going on, and there's a lot of things we see that come in our inbox and in our news feed about getting thousands of people on our list and growing our list to super, super huge. Hey, Cecilia, I'm glad you're here. To a super huge list. And we may think, oh, I don't have that. And I don't know how to get that, and back away and pedal back from doing some pretty tremendous things. And here's what I want to say. When we're having the words not big enough, my list is too small, I'm going to say don't let those numbers fool you. And it's very relative. And many of these numbers that we could see where someone's got thousands of followers, or you're just seeing things that look like exponential compared to what you've got. A lot of times these are vanity numbers. And so I used to love what Marjorie would talk about. Well, when Marjorie and I worked together at 3 each, talk about blow your own skirt up, which is basically just kind of like get a big head over things. And, really a lot of times if we see big numbers, it can kind of make us heady and giddy, like I have this many followers, and that's wonderful. But what does it actually translate to? So just because you have those numbers in your fans and followers, do you have relationships with these people? Are you investing in their lives? Are they coming to you for what they need? And are you taking things to the next level? So this is where I want to dig into the phrase, the gold is in the list. Because if we see that the gold is in the list, which is true, that's true, we can somehow look at that from the wrong way around. So I think it's important to see that the list is actually gold. And so when we start to define what's gold and what's the list, that is where things get clarified in my mind. So if we look at as gold is money, we may see just, we're not seeing people as anything more to our means to an end. So, we only see 50 people or 150 people or 550 people. What's enough? Like, can we maintain those relationships? Are we looking after one well enough to say, give me 100 more like that or 1,000 more like that? So I think sometimes we think it's a means to an end. It's like a straight trip to the bank. So I want us to kind of keep our eye on that and what does that mean? And if we look at the list as just numbers, we might forget that this is people on the other side of this. These people want to be connected with, related to, they want to matter. And does that take work? Oh yeah, it sure does. It sure does. But the investments pay back in dividends. So this is where I say, is it worth it? 100%. Hey, Wealthia, I'm so glad you're here. So glad to see you. So when we flip it and we say the list is gold rather than just the gold is in the list, then we start to treat the people who have honored us with their presence. They've given us permission to market to them. They stop long enough to listen to what we have to say, just like now, right now, if you're here listening to me live or on the replay, so honored that you're here. Those relationships have to be nurtured and cultivated, and that gold needs to be mined out. And that is a longer game. It's a longer process of relationship building that sometimes I think we overlook. We're trying to grow the list rather than grow the relationships. We're trying to grow wide rather than growing deep. And this is really where, we need to look at. The list is made up of relationships And that's where the gold is. So the number of fans and followers, that's not relationships. It's not sales. They're just numbers, right? So then what do we do with that? And how do we create the connection with the people? And that takes work. And some of this can be automated. That's true. Some of it can be automated, but much of it needs to be cultivated. And that's a different headset altogether. It's a different mindset altogether. It's a different energy altogether. And it says that we're seeing that person and that they matter. And so this then becomes, should be great news for those of us who do not have 10,000, and that's including me, 10,000 people on their list. I do not even have 5,000 people on the list. I'm going to say if we go and we round up everyone from LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, my email, okay, maybe cumulatively we're looking in the thousands, but do I have relationships with all these people? No. So this is what I know. I don't want to be just one of many on someone's thousands list, and you probably don't either. I want a closer connection. And if there's a community where there's no connection at all, I'm usually pedaling my way out of there. I'm not going to stick around very long because I prefer to be in the room where the connection can be tightened and where it can be deepened. So to boutique your business, this is what we've been talking about all along, big vision, small venture, your best midlife adventure. To boutique your business, it's to stay small by intention. And then to look at that and say, okay, I've got the courage to niche down. Is that scary? Yeah, it is. Because we're like, yeah, what about and what about? And I'm going to say, if we niche down and we really by intention decide that we're going to focus on the list we currently have, not longingly looking over here, FOMO looking over there. Who's on your list right now? Is that 10 people, 110 people, 1,000 people? How well are we looking after who we have right now? So to build a list and find the points of affinity, the points of solution, the points of transformation, how are we going to do that and bring that to those who said they want to follow us so that when they're ready to buy, not necessarily when we're ready to sell, but when they're ready to buy, boom, we're top of mind. They're like, yeah, I got to talk to Donna again, right? So that's where then they're like, we're the obvious choice because why? We've been in their space. We've been providing value. Now, last week I talked about the myth and the magic of reciprocity. So a lot of times we think, well, I showed up and I gave them this, so drum your fingers. I'm expecting they're going to give me that. Doesn't always work like that. But I think we come from give, we come from serve, we come from giving tons of value. And then as we cultivate those relationships and deepen those relationships, when people are ready to take that next step, they know they've been in the circle of someone who's already been providing that. And the trust has been built. The relationship is being nurtured. By all means, it is a longer game. So if you're looking just like a quick fix, okay, maybe you want to do it differently. It's not my vibe and style necessarily. I'm going to cultivate relationships and build that on a slower grow. And I believe that then builds that longevity in that relationship. I'm going to keep looking for those points of connection and points of affinity. And I hope that you can do that too. So with all of that said, on the week of the 21st, I'm going to host a 5-day Don't Grow Your List challenge. It's Don't Grow Your List, Grow Your Relationships 5-day challenge. And hopefully this is going to help you to see that you are already sitting on gold. That the people that are in your community, on your list, in your collective community of all your social media outlets and platforms, your email marketing and all the places you're already showing up, that there is more gold there than you even realize. And part of it is just a reframe. It's just looking at that through fresh eyes and seeing that in a way that says, hey, wait a minute. These relationships are here and I can cultivate them rather than looking longingly at what someone else has, to be able to say, this is what I have and I'm going to look after these people with my whole heart. So here's the whole premise of this, is to find the gold in the list you already have, cultivate and build the bridges from service and value, and then you're going to find the way through. And yeah, do we want things to lead to a sale? Yes. But the conversations we want to be having and the way we're going to do this is not a sales conversation. It's a relationship building conversation. It's from listening. It's other-centric. It's saying, not just coming and dumping on someone what I have and buy my stuff. Absolutely not. It's listening. Am I even your right person? Should you even be talking to me? oh, actually, I'm listening to, you need to be talking to her. You need to be talking to him. And being brave enough to outsource that work to someone else if I don't have any business doing it myself. So over the 5 days, so let me look at what I've got here. Over day 1, we're going to decide on who you want to connect with and why you want to connect with them. So that'll really define who is this group of people that we're going to be looking at. Day 2, we're going to look at what are your offers and packages, free, low, mid, high, hybrid, what you have to offer, so that in the event you get in a conversation, you are ready to be able to serve that person. If the need is high enough and they're ready to go, so are you. You're going to decide how are you going to reach out to that person. Are you going to use Messenger? Are you going to pick up the phone? Have a discovery call? A combination of both. I don't know about you, but I'm out and about. You're going to meet with someone for coffee. That's possible too. Day 4, we're going to reach out to no more than 10 people on your list and track the outcomes. Day 5, you're going to commit to deepening your connection to those 10 people for at least 30 days. Project what you think will happen, track what actually happens, revisit the whole process on July 25th. So then you're going to rinse and repeat. And so I'll wrap the whole thing up with a Zoom call, and whoever wants to jump in that conversation on the 25th, Friday the 25th, can jump in, tell me their findings, what did they see, what did they learn, what needs changed, and we'll have a conversation about all of that. I am so sure that this works. I want to prove it to you, right? I lived in a neighborhood in Nazareth with 20 houses, and I saw amazing things happen. I was part of starting a school in Nazareth with 10 kids and a box of books. Wow, amazing things happened. I started 3E marketing from my kitchen table, which eventually became the BYB workshop and a full-blown marketing agency with staff and everything from small beginnings. And then from a Facebook group of 250 people, there's my client list, right? So it's from small beginnings. You've heard these sayings, great things can come. Little hinges swing big doors. So this is really what I want to encourage you, that you could have a big vision and do not disqualify yourself if you do not have a big list that seems like my list doesn't match my vision. What we want to look at is how can you serve with your whole heart the people who are on your list right now so that you can have a big vision and make a big difference even if you have a small list. So I hope this helps you to look at your list from a brand new lens and look at it through fresh eyes and begin to really see, how am I going to serve the people that are following me? How am I going to show up and build and foster and nurture that list so that as people are ready for what it is they need, and we find the points of affinity together, we find, where you can best be of service, that you're going to be able to just go right, step into that, because people, the know, like, and trust factor has been built. The relationship has got some roots to it. There's a sense of belonging there, and a person is more ready to step forward with you than if you just met them on the fly, swinging through the news feed, and never saw them before ever. So I'm hoping that it will help you see that the people on your list, to treat them like gold. They so deserve it. These people can spend their attention anywhere else. If they step long enough to be with us, as any of you are, I am so honored. And so I want to encourage us to do that in the 5-day Don't Grow Your List, Grow Your Relationships 5-day challenge. So look for all the details. I'll put that in there, and I'd love for you to jump in. I'll just post everything right in here in the group, and it'll just be labeled as such. If you want to take advantage of it, you're more than welcome. It'll be sitting in there, and then you could jump on the call with us. Even if in any part of it, not the whole thing, but any part of it resonates with you, I encourage you to jump in and weave that into the way you are building your relationships as you grow your business. I hope this has been encouraging for you. I'm very excited to do this together. And so look for all the details. I think that's all I've got. You guys have a fabulous weekend. I'll look forward to talking to you next week. See ya. Bye.